we've got the bolt put together, the outer frame anyways. We've got the column, the braces, the outer supports there. Everything's tightened up, it's been trammed. We're ready to start putting on the carriage that goes up and down, that travels up and down. What I normally do is I'll use the bunks that come with the lift. This is a set of vinyl bunks. You can do it with carpet, it doesn't matter. But I'll set a vinyl bunk here and a vinyl bunk there, and I'll start building my carriage off the bunks. Now if the vinyl bunks come apart a little tough, just loosen these bolts up and it'll pull right out. Sometimes the guys will tighten this up and it collapses the aluminum and it's a little tight to get off. So loosen up the bolts if you have to. It's just there for a temporary helper. The twin beams, which we call them, is this is what your boat sits on, and there's one marked front. It's marked on the center pad there, and the winch side is going to be the side with a cutout in it. So that side's going to go on this side. Right now I'm just going to lift it up and put it on the vinyl bunks. The back of the hoist is labeled back, and also there's a cutout on the winch side. So I'm going to lay that on the vinyl bunks, marked back here. There we go. Now from there, the winch tube is going to be this tube here, and it should be how long? We've got 120 plus 4, I believe it's 124, 122 long, I believe, this tube here. And it goes on the winch side. You're going to have a loose cable coming out with one end with nothing on it. That's the end that's going to go into the winch, so that's going to be on your winch column side. And this inserts in the twin beam where the cutout is. There. Now this cable here is going to have to be taken through the bottom. This is the loop where the dead ends on the winch cable. This is going to have to go down. It's separated here. There we go. Now you can slide it together. And the winch cable comes back up through the slot. There we go. Cable's kind of stiff. There. And there's a cable coming out of the twin beam that hooks on the bottom. Nothing much you have to do with that, it's going to go straight down. So that's the starter for the winch rear corner. We're going to have to do the same thing on this side, putting it together. This cable here going to have to go through this hole, so what we're going to have to do is pull the cable out, and we put it together. Once we have put it together, part there a little bit. Once we have it together to some point, we can run the cable up through it. that would be, what we can do is get this tight. You may need like a rubber hammer or something to hammer it tight. There's a 3/4 bolt here that once you have this on all the way, go ahead and tighten it up. You may have to loosen it up a little bit to get the corner on. Same thing with the rear. You're going to loosen up the shiv bolt, then tighten her back down onto the angle. So this is the winch side. We've got that started. We're going to do the non-winch side over here. Non-winch side, there is a front and a back to it, and it's not labeled, the one that I have here, but the cable that goes down is going to go around the top of the shiv or the pulley, and it's going to go down. The cable that goes down is going to be on the inside of the hoist, so keep that in mind for this tube here. The cable that goes up is going to be on the outside, just the way I have it shown. So there's a right and wrong way to put it on. What you're going to do is you're going to want to pull these cables in. Well, first of all, let's get it started. There. This is the opposite side of the winch. The winch is going to be on the other side. This is a tube, we call it a leveling tube. It keeps the lift level from front to back. There's two cables in it that cross. And the tube has an angle welded on each end, and it slides inside the flange here. And once we get it in there, we're going to tighten this bolt up here. This washer's got a little cutout in it, and the cutout's going to go up against that angle because it's kind of a tight area there. But you may have to loosen this up a little bit to get it on. And we're going to be doing the same thing on the other side. If you want to zoom in here a little bit, I'll show you a little bit about the cables. There's a cable with a short fitting on it. That is going to be going on the inside, and that's going to be going down. There's a cable with a long fitting on it. That's going to go up. The one that goes up is going to be on the outside of the hoist. It goes down on the inside. So this cable here is on the outside of the tube. It's going to be going up here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull these cables in so I can push that in. And I got a little persuasion hammer here, a little rubber hammer. You could use like a black wood or something. I'll have to loosen that up a little bit. There we go. There. We've got the front part of the hoist done. This cable is in the twin beam. Can go up through the hole here like that. So essentially that corner's all set except for bolting it up. Now I'm going to go to the back side of the hoist. Kind of the same conditions. The short cable goes down. Long fitting goes up. We're going to hammer this in there. And like again, you may have to loosen that up a little bit. Got to pull the cables and get them out of the way so you can hammer it in there. There we go. That wasn't bad. Put it all the way in, and we've got this part done. So next thing we're going to do is make sure all your fittings, all your connections are tight, and go ahead and tighten up that bolt, which is the bolt that goes through the pulley. Next thing we'll do is put on the plastic plates that go on the top here, and do a little bit of tramming too.